A number of years ago, I remember being in Austin and speaking on specifically this issue. And Texas, as you mentioned, had a rule limiting spending, but it was uh, when you put in personal income growth, a spending cap tied to personal income growth, well, that doesn't actually in any way shrink government over the long run because the private economy sort of is a proxy for personal income growth. And you're basically saying to the politicians, you can increase spending as fast as the economy grows. Now, that's better than letting it grow faster than that. So it's certainly better than nothing. But my golden rule is that the private sector should grow faster than the government. You do want to shrink that government spending as a share of economic output over time, assuming, of course, that you think government is too big. And I think certainly at every state level and certainly at the federal government level in the United States, that's a very true and accurate statement. My view is that the growth maximizing size of government, covering, as you talked about earlier, Vance, the core public goods, things government actually should do, government should probably be 5 to 10% of GDP. And certainly now, when you add federal, state, and local spending in the United States, of course, it's a little bit messed up by all the COVID spending, but we're 35, approaching 40% of GDP, even when you factor out the emergency COVID spending. So I think we have a very fundamental problem that government is growing faster than the private economy. We want to, again, flip those lines around so that the private economy is growing faster than government. And some sort of spending cap is the key. And it should be set at a level below the growth of private nominal income or nominal GDP. But then you also have to figure out, well, how do you enforce it? Because Hawaii has a spending cap, but it's allowed to be waived. I think it's either a 60% or a 2/3 vote. Well, Hawaii's legislature is overwhelmingly pro-big government, left wing, and so as a routine matter, they just wave a magic wand and the spending cap doesn't apply. So not only do you need to design your spending cap effectively, but you also need to make sure that your escape options are very tightly controlled, because politicians, when push comes to shove, they'll always want to kick the can down the road in terms of any sort of imposition of fiscal responsibility.